Before we get started, my Ohana, I'd like to point out that nothing I'm about to say is to judge you. I'd like to discuss some interesting and inspiring things I've learned. And it'd be cool to amuse you while doing so. I'd also like to offer some perspective, but never judgment. Firstly, to judge someone, you best be totally freaking smart, okay? And even then, the smartest of the smarts tend to get really bad god complexes. I got that Karen hippie uncle vibe. That superhero complex, a bit of a reckless one, but never a god complex. I mean, I believe we're all God, as if there is such a concept. Clearly, God put himself into us. That sounded a little dirty, but you get me. God's a part of us and we're a part of God. Lastly, before we really get going, I'm not telling you how to think or what to believe. This is show and tell time, folks. The time for sharing ideas and thus, hopefully, inspiring new ones, creating conversation, and just showing that we can and should think for ourselves, but also never force our beliefs on others. Still, I believe we can share these beliefs with each other and learn from them to create our own. After all, that's how I came to believe what I believe. Now, for me, what I view of as God is two things. One, the source of creation, or the creating source of creation, is a kind of energy being that somehow made all of creation. Two, I believe the spirits of the best beings to have ever lived. You know, the kindest, funniest, just the best, coolest folks you ever want to hang out with, have become more powerful than anyone ever imagined by merging with the creating source's interdimensional, spiritual, ghostly, energy-type beings. I believe they guide us, protect us, and assist us by being the good angel on our shoulders. However, I believe there is also a dark version of this kind of energy being, which is why we must and should honor our beloved dead. That did sound like an instruction, but again, this is just what I believe, and I totally believe all of this. But you can think of it as philosophy that just kind of helps you understand new ways of tackling personal problems. If you sit around wasting your life hating on things, instead of truly enjoying the things that could make you feel good, well, I think that if the spirit of a fallen hero could see you or me being so whiny and wasting our life, that might probably piss them off. Because if they could trade places with us, they'd probably not be wasting their life on stuff like social media, for example. Again, not to judge. I thought social media was fun too. And if it really brings you joy, cool. No judgment here. And I will defend to the death your right to have fun on social media. But I have found that the less time I spend on that stuff, and the more I just watch TV or play video games, I feel less depressed, and less like I've wasted my time. Best of all, I feel like I actually accomplished something. It might sound a little sad, but it doesn't seem as sad to me as sitting around just scrolling through social media for hours on end. Again, if that's your bag, cool. But the days that I spent just wasting away on social media or stuff like that just made me feel like I wasted my time, and that made me feel shitty. To provide a bit of humorous light on the situation, let's use an old school sexist-based joke to make a point and provide some much-needed humor. I figure if I warn you and make it clear what the intention of the joke is, then it should be cool. So, my dudes, do you really think the ladies are out there searching for that guy who can hate on all the right stuff? You know, The guy who posts on all the correct social medias about how much he hates the things that we're all supposed to hate. Oh my goodness, dudes, I just hear them now. Oh my god, Becky, did you hear? Jonathan hates Hellboy 2019. We have to suck his cock. Yes, indeed. I'm sure that happens all the time. Not! Now, since that was a pretty harsh joke, again, like I said before, I'll still defend your right to social media fun times if it really makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. But if you're feeling run down, bored, and like life sucks, might I suggest binging a few sitcoms? Community is stellar, as is Third Rock from the Sun. That 70s show is classic, and Chuck is a straight-up gem. There are so many others that'll also really tickle your funny bits. There's a show for everybody. Now, if you're feeling angry or frustrated, might I suggest a violent video game paired with some super angry-sounding music? It feels great to use a healthy outlet to get those feelings out of your system, and sometimes it even helps you have epiphanies and shit like that. See, in my belief system, the more you enjoy things, the more you're loving something that another person created for you to love, which fuels the good spirit / light side of the force. It's simplistic shit, really. But the more you hate on things that have done good for others, things that just aren't your bag, baby, well, that's what Voldemort slashed Darth Sidious once, and that's what empowers them and drains you of all of your individuality and all of your life. Again, just what I believe. We are free to dislike things, to voice our criticisms. But that is not what hate is. Hate is when you weaponize those reasonable thoughts into a destructive force to ruin something another might like or even love. Okay, that was a little judgy. But in fairness, it does seem kind of fair to judge those who are destructively judging the world, and to do so only to point out how destructive and cruel it is, and also, just that it's kind of pointless and stupid. Sorry, again, it's judgmental, but it also seems fair. But I am sorry if I hurt your feelings in the process of making you rethink behavior that's harming yourself and others. Okay, I'm kind of a little sorry if I hurt your feelings, but mostly not. But I do hope you'll find something you like, focus on that, and get some joy back in your life. Because, literally, focusing on hate is the stupidest thing. Okay, it's judgmental, but the point is, you're wasting your life, you're ruining other people's good times, and it just seems to me that, maybe not a smack in the face, but a good smack on the ass is kinda what you need. Well, we'll see you next time, right here on Hysterical Horizons, brought to you by Mega Media Overload on the YouTubes. BT Dubs, you can find exclusive content on megamediaoverload.com. Lastly, if there are any fans out there wondering, that fun and creative project is still on the way. A couple of weeks and you will be seeing something that, yes, will finally be mostly about nothing but fun, joy, good feelings. We'll catch up with ya later days.